All right, so you want to start off with your separations lab outline, and we are going to start off with a mixture. And our mixture is going to contain marshmallows, iron filings, sand, and salt. Okay, so we have all these items that we are going to be, that are all mixed in together. So this is what we have. It's just a mixture of sand, salt, and iron fillings. So if you could see that. Let's see that a little bit. Sand, salt, and iron fillings. And marshmallows. All right. So then we have these items that are here, and I'm going to separate them. But anyway, all right, so we are going to separate this. So looking at your separations lab paper, there we go. So looking at this paper, we're going to separate each one of these. So which out of these, the marshmallows, the iron fillings, the sand, and the salt, would we want to separate first? Which one would we want to separate first? So if we have our mixture here, which one will we want to separate first? Yes. The marshmallows. Okay, great. So if we separate the marshmallows, that's what we're going to separate, right? How? What method would we use to separate those? What is it called? It starts with the M. It's mechanical separation, right? So on that document, I want you to write out that we're separating the marshmallows, and then we're going to use, what is it called again, Fernando? Perfect, mechanical separation. And then you will want to explain, how will we explain that? What will we do for that? Manny? Just take them out, okay? So then you guys should have those things filled in at first box, okay? So on this first box, what was separated? Marshmallows. What method was used? Mechanical. And how will we explain it? We just take them out. So that's what we want to fill out in that first box. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and use mechanical separation, and I'm going to just pick these things up. So I have separated my marshmallows. Ta-da. Right? All right, so what's left in our mixture? What's left in this mixture? So in that box was what's left in the mixture. You are going to put salt, sand, and our iron fillings, right? So that's what the three things are left. So from there, what is it that we would separate now? The iron fillings. And how are we going to take out those iron fillings? What are we going to use? Magnetic separation. And how will we use magnetic separation? I'm going to use this bag here so I can catch it all. But if you guys, am I showing you guys everything? So now we have separated the marshmallows and then my iron fillings. What's left? Salt and the sand. Excellent. So now we have salt and sand that's left in here. How are we going to separate this? We have to think about their properties. What's something that salt can do that sand can't do? Or what's something that sand can do that salt can't do? Their properties are different. What do we know about salt? It does. It does. Salt dissolves. Does sand dissolve? No, it does not. That is a property that is different between salt and sand. So salt can dissolve. What is salt going to dissolve in? It's going to dissolve in water. So what will we do? So what should I do? Very good. Excellent. So we're going to I have a beaker here. So I have a beaker, and I'm going to put this into the beaker. Let's put some water in it. Now, I don't want to put too much. And I want to, what are we wanting to happen? We want the salt to dissolve. Very good. So if we were to, does anybody know why I'm putting it on the heat right now? Yeah, it's very good. It's going to dissolve quicker. So I'm going to put that on there. I'm going to stir it up a little bit. Make sure that all of that salt has dissolved. And if you see the bottom of it, it's kind of hard to see. But if you see the bottom of it, you can see it doesn't have all those white specks anymore. It's mostly brown. Right? So now what do? Where is the salt now? It's in the water. So how am I going to get the sand out? Very good. We're going to strain it, or in another word for that is filter it. So what we are going to do is we are going to have a filter here, and then I have some filter paper. Just coffee paper. Okay. So I'm going to put this at the bottom of my filter. You could also use a funnel. The funnel, I think, takes a lot longer, so I like using it this way. So I have my filter. This filter has holes in it. And then I have it sitting on the second layer, which doesn't have holes in it, so that's going to catch the water. So if I set this on top, and I pour this in there, I could use the decanter, or not a decanter, but I could use decanting and then just pour off the water. However, the reason why I don't want to do that is because I physically want to take out the sand. Okay, if I wanted to leave the sand in the cup, I could just leave the sand in the cup. However, I want to take out all the sand. So I'm going to kind of stir this so that I can take out all of that sand. See that? So we have just separated out the sand. And so what's left? What do we have left? The salt is left, and the salt is mixed in with water. We want the sand to be by itself. We want to actually see the salt by itself. We want to actually see the salt. So how are we going to get the salt by itself? Evaporation. So you want to make sure you fill out that last little section and say that we are going to use evaporation. So when we're using evaporation, what's going to happen? Yes. The water will evaporate, and what will stay and remain in the beaker, and the salt will remain in the beaker because the salt does not evaporate, right? Only the water. So we're going to go ahead and heat this up. And then you should be able to complete that form that's online, that separations flow, that flow chart. At this point, we're waiting on our evaporation process to take place. you should be able to complete the form, the flow chart, and you have all the information you need in order to complete the WISER at this point. If you have any questions, please let me know. All right, so looking at our container here, all of our water is gone. All of our water is gone, and we are left with just the sand, or the salt. Ugh. All of that is salt. Okay. So we have separated our sand, our marshmallows first. Then we went with the iron fillings. And now we have our, then we had our sand. Then we have our salt.